Hello, welcome to Danny Chats. I know it's been a while, but I was busy graduating, so yay, I am done with college. That's a huge weight off my shoulders, and I'm really happy to be done. It's more of a sense of relief than pride or accomplishment. I'm just like, oh, finally. So that's great, and it's Christmas. Merry Christmas. I've already had my celebration. So on the mom's side of the family, we do dinner on Christmas Eve, and we did have dinner at Dad's house, but that was at like 3, and now it is 8 p.m. exactly, and I'm back at my apartment in Minneapolis by myself. So of course I am just recording myself. What's up? I have a boyfriend now. His name is Sam. We've been dating since September. He's really great. He told me he's gonna go be an au pair in Italy. And I've done long distance before, and long distance sucks so much. So I thought, I'm gonna be done with school. Maybe I can find something to do in Italy and just also go there. So I did. And I'm gonna be an au pair as well. Both of our host families know each other. His host family has a son who's like 5 or 6, and my host family has a daughter who's 5. My host family has a dog. Basically, our job is to pick them up from school and then speak English to them is the main responsibility, so that these Italian children have an American native English speaker in their home, and they can be familiar with the dialect of American English, because it is hard to come into America after learning British English by the book. Like, American English is way different, and we speak a lot in idioms and exaggerations and phrases that don't actually mean what they are, So I'm going to be making a stipend per month, and they feed me, and I have my own room. I have my own keys. I have my own bathroom. It should be really fun. I'm going to be there for 3 months, so I leave January 6th. And hopefully I'll be able to do some Danny Chats while there and keep you updated on my Italian adventures. I will be running a blog. I'll give you the link below and you can check it out. Keep up to date with it if you find it interesting. I've been to Italy before. When I was in high school, I played trumpet. I still have it. I still play it. And I was in the concert band at my high school. And we toured Italy for 10 days, 6 or 7 different cities through those 10 days, playing music, which was really cool. I'm comforted by the fact that I have already been to Italy. I know I love the place. If I hate the job or anything goes wrong, I just know I'll love the place I'm in, so that's reassuring for sure. It's kind of scary to be leaving for 3 whole months, but also invigorating. I'm so excited. If you've never experienced winter, nonetheless, winter in Minnesota, some people are into it if you like ice fishing and skiing, but even those things, which can be enjoyable, it gets scary cold here sometimes. I'm talking like -20 Fahrenheit. My dad says I have to dye my hair darker to go to Italy because all the Italian men will be hitting on me because I'm blonde. I'm kind of thinking I should dye my hair darker so I seem smarter as well. But I'm not going to dye it at all because you get what you see, people. That's basically my main news for you, but it incorporates all these other aspects of my life. So I have to move out of my apartment because I'm not about to pay rent for 3 months while I'm in Italy. I live here because it's across the street from where my classes were and where my job was. And now that I'm not in school, why should I still live here? West Bank is a super cool place to live, and that's no longer me. Who knows what's next? When I get back from Italy, all my stuff is going to be at my parents' house, so when I first get back, I'll be there for a little bit. And from there, my thoughts right now are I will find a place in LA. We'll see where I'm at when I get back. Nothing is ever solidified. The future is never guaranteed. Not even tomorrow. If you ever get overwhelmed thinking about the future, just remember, you have no idea. Don't get a big head and think you're in control and map out this huge plan and be like, I got this. That is the wrong thing to do because anything can happen, which is great, but also scary. One day I was biking to the bank to get some quarters to do my laundry. There's this intersection where the light rails pass. No light rails in sight. There was a stoplight. It was red. I see no light rails, no people, no cars. I'm on my bicycle. If you know how a bicycle works, it's pretty valuable to use your momentum to go forward because you're using your own physical power to move the thing forward. Well, other side of the intersection I go through, there are a couple bicycle cops. You know, like in 21 Jump Street. Those guys. Basically, exactly those guys. They go, slow down there. And they're like chatting with each other, and I'm just like, they think I'm going really fast on my bike, because I am. And I just kept going. And I guess they actually seriously meant, halt, we are pulling you over, even though that's not how it sounded. So, next thing I know, I'm being chased down by these bicycle cops. And they come on either side of my bike, grab my handlebars, and pull me to a stop. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like freaking out a little. And then I like realize what's happening, and I'm like, hey, what the heck? And they're like, get off your bike. So I do. And then they're taking my bike from me. And I was like, you can't touch my property. You can't touch my property. And I just kept saying that because they're taking my bike. I'm like, can you not take my bike? And they're like, oh, you could be using it as a weapon. I go, pretty sure I was just riding it. That's what you do with a bike. Try not to talk back to cops. I know they deserve it. I know. But try not to do it. Because then I got handcuffed. And I had a big backpack on. I was a student at the time, which I am no longer, thank Jesus. But it was full of books, and my arms were just cranked behind my back for like 20 minutes. And things are tight. That's how handcuffs work. And people are passing by like, they're looking at me, making eye contact. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't whip out a gun or a knife. I'm not threatening at all. Don't know why I'm in handcuffs right now. I don't know, people. I don't know. So they're saying, what's your name? What's your address? What's your name and address? And I'm like, I know my rights. I don't have to tell them anything. So I'm just standing there silently staring at them. Which I'm sure they felt pretty intimidated that I literally was just standing there like. Death glare. Straight death glare, straight into their eyes. I'm not saying anything. They probably like stay awake every night, remembering my look, wondering if I'm gonna break through their window or something. It was a harsh look. So then, they're freaked out. Cops are so small. So, they go, okay, if you don't tell us your name, we're taking you to jail. I go, they're gonna laugh in your face if you bring me to jail for going through an intersection on my bicycle. I'm getting a kick out of it at this point. I'm like, these dudes are weak. I already broke them. They're freaking out. So, they actually did call 2 more squad cars, and then I'm kind of like, oh. Well, okay. And then the squad cars came, so there's now like 6 cops because I ran a red light on my bicycle. And I'm standing there in my handcuffs, and people are probably thinking I like pulled a gun on a civilian or something. But nope, just ran a red light on my bicycle. That's all. That's all I did. Like, okay, my name is Danny, my address is blah blah, I told them, I'm like, stop freaking out. And then they gave me 2 citations. One for not stopping when they told me to stop, which if you had clearly told me we're pulling you over, I would have pulled over, But they were just like, slow down there. Didn't think anything of it. And for running through the stoplight, which, like, yes, that was illegal, but also I am saving the planet by riding my bicycle and not using any fossil fuels. That's like about 2 miles. And it's like cold as heck. Like, it's cold. But I just take one for the team because I'm like, it's not that far, and it's probably faster to ride my bike anyway, and better for the environment. So I'm just thinking I shouldn't have to pay for this, Also, I was on the street. It's called Nicollet Mall, and there are no cars. It's only for bicycles, taxis, and buses. So I don't know. So I was like pissed off at that ticket, and I ripped it and I threw it on the ground and biked off once they gave me my bike back. I got a court date and I had to go to court, and I fought it. I'm like, I'm not paying this, and I told them what happened. I didn't deserve this, and I shouldn't have to pay whatever it was, like $176 or something. I was like, not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I was also explaining, I'm going to Italy, so I'm not gonna have time to wait for you to like put me in jail for 6 months and then give me a court date. Like, I told my public attorney, I know how this works, and I'm not going through with it. We didn't even have to talk to a judge. We just went to some other, I don't know her title, lady behind a computer, whatever. And she's like, let's just give her a day of service in exchange for these 2 citations. So yeah, I got sentenced to service, is what they call it, and I had to do a day of work for the city. And so I said, okay, I can get that done before I go to Italy, and I did. I will point out, I was the only white person that had to do this on my day of service. There were 11 people total. What we had to do was, first we shoveled this penitentiary, the gate around it. We shoveled the sidewalk that was around the gate. Then we went to senior citizens' houses and shoveled their driveways. And then we had a lunch break in which we had to just sit in the van with no heat. Oh, this is outside, by the way, and it's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit all day. 8 hours, yeah. So yeah, then we went to Toys for Tots, Salvation Army, and we worked for them. We were given name tags that said volunteer, and I was like, I'm not wearing this, I'm not a volunteer, I'm doing my day of service. And I gave it back. So I wore a reflective vest. All the other volunteers were inside, and they were from corporate businesses for the most part, and they were all wearing ugly Christmas sweaters. And we were wearing reflective vests, the people that were doing the day of service. We had to stand in the parking lot and flag cars the right direction, because if you've ever seen a parking lot with no people doing that, oh, it's a complete disaster. No, there's really no reason that we had to do that, except for we're doing a day of service. So that was fun. But yeah, I got that done. The reason I told you that whole story, though, goes back to the Italian host family, actually. It's coming full circle now. So during that day of service, I'm outside shoveling a driveway. My Italian host family called. And this is when I didn't know if they were going to hire me. We had been talking, emailing. We had Skyped a couple of times. But it wasn't a done deal yet. So I'm thinking, I have to take this call, because there's a 7-hour difference between me and Italy, and I want every chance to talk to them and, you know, make a good impression. But I'm like, I'm in the middle of a day of service, so... But I don't want to miss the opportunity either, so... And I just was like, I talked to the guy in charge, I don't know what to call him, or supervisor, and I was like, I have to take this call and kind of explain my situation, and he was like, okay, just try to hurry. So he let me do that, so that was nice. And I'm just like Skyping my Italian family. I'm like, yeah, so I'm just helping out shoveling. I'm just doing some service. But yeah, I was actually on my day of service, like, that I got because I got a ticket. At least I didn't actually do anything that bad, I don't think. I didn't put anyone in harm's way. If anything, I put myself in harm's way, but, like, I looked both ways. You know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah, and they were like, they didn't think anything of it. They just were like, wow, it's really snowy there. I'm like, yeah, it's a winter wonderland. Our connection wasn't super good because I was just using 3G. Like, the connection broke up, and then they messaged me on Skype, and they said, we just wanted to let you know you can buy your plane tickets. Oh, yay! I'm for sure hired. Like, I'm going to Italy. So, a great thing happened in the middle of my bad day, which always makes it a little more bearable. This has been Danny Chats. I love you for watching this, and I'll see you soon. I should do conversions for my people who use what's it called? Celsius.